kila neno ambalo unalitamuka unapata kwamba lina maana yake. Basi tafakari hayo. Ni Mutembei TV station nambari 1 ambao tunazidi kukuletea mazungumzo. Nami leo hapa ndani ya nyumba, ndani ya Mutembei TV tunaye mtu amazing tena sana ambaye ni rais wa bunge ya huku Jakaranda. Karibu ndani ya Mutembei TV.
Asante sana.
Asante, nataka kuambia wale ambao watakutazama haswa wewe ni nani?
Asante. Kwa majina naitwa Nicholas Juma Okech. The president bunge la mwananchi ya Jakaranda.
How do you feel being the president?
It comes with responsibility, but sincerely speaking, I'm glad to be given that chance. Yeah.
Lakini nimesikia kwamba wewe ni Mjaluo. Ulifikaje sasa hapa Nairobi kutoka Kisumu?
Kutoka Kisumu, mimi ni mzaliwa wa Homa Bay, sijatoka Kisumu. Lakini Nairobi tulikuja kutafuta njia ya kazi. That is what brought me to Nairobi.
Na unajua lakini katika safari ya maisha ya kila mtu unapata kwanza kuna mwanzo wake. Wewe katika wakati ulianza politics, ulianzaje politics na nini ambayo ilikumotivate ukaanza politics?
Politics nilianza zamani when I was still a student back in high school. I was privileged to go to a school where we used to choose our leaders, and that is where my genesis of politics started. Though all along when I went to the university, it kept on growing in me, and now I'm in it. Yeah.
Na pale Jakaranda ulijipata vipi pale?
Mimi ni mkazi wa Lower Savannah, lakini kabla niende Jakaranda nilikuwa member wa bunge la mwananchi ya Jivanji ambayo inapatikana town. Na venye nilipata ya kwamba ama ujumbe ya kwamba Jakaranda pia kuna bunge la mwananchi, niliona ni vizuri niachane na ile ya Jivanji nianze kwenda hii ya karibu. Ndio.
Ukiangalia huko kwenye Jivanji na huko Jakaranda, kuna tofauti gani ama zote tu ni same?
Tofauti ni kubwa sana. Manake ukienda ya Jakaranda, it is well organized. You cannot compare it to bunge la mwananchi in Jivanji. At the same time, the membership of bunge la mwananchi ya Jakaranda, it is the same people coming almost every single day. But you go to Jivanji Gardens, you realize that membership is not that constant. Like those who attend today probably are not the same people attending tomorrow. So there is a challenge with the membership as much as there are people who are permanently members of bunge la mwananchi Jivanji. Yeah.
Na sasa before ufike pale Jakaranda, ni challenges zipi ambazo ulizipitia before kuwe president?
In politics, challenges zipo sana. And the normal challenges yenye wanasiasa sawa kitaifa wanapata, they are the same challenges we get in grassroots politics. I would call it a grassroots politics, but the same challenges we see in national politics are there. First of all, the financial challenge, because we had a precedence in Kenya whereby in politics you need to be well organized financially to have a stake in politics. That challenge, I saw it in bunge la mwananchi Jakaranda. At the same time, our nation has been polarized to tribal politics. And we witness that even in grassroots politics at Jakaranda. You realize that people tend to affiliate themselves with their political lines are affiliated to their tribal lines as well. You realize that the majority of the members perhaps are coming from two major tribes, that is Luya community and Luo community. Other tribes, they are there, but not that much. So you realize that the division starts at that point, where people see themselves as a community having something in common, and they really want their own. And that is the major problem we realized. Yeah.
Sasa, as talking about that problem that you have said about the Luo community and the Luya community, tumeambiwa ya kwamba kulikuwa na mvurugano wakati ulikuwa umewina the seat. Walikuwa wanasema kwamba Luya, they wanted their Luya to be they are not a Luo. So what is your take on that?
Now you realize that perhaps you got that story halfway, because
Now tell us the whole story.
Right, that is why I'm here now. And if you do your research, you'll realize that before deciding to be the president, I was supporting a candidate who was a Luya. Unfortunately, we withdrew from the race, and I decided now to take the mantle, or rather the bull by its horn. But even this fraction we are talking about that Luyas want their own, it's not per se. It's like just some corrupt people trying to drag lawyers into that mess. Because even in my team, you'll realize that as much as I'm trying my best to bring everyone on board, but you'll realize that lawyers already in this team. Just a few feel like their rights were not served, they are out a bit. Very few individuals. But you realize that they have hidden motives with Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda. There are people who initially were in the leadership, and a leadership that I would call a rotten leadership. They are trying to use that population for their own advantage. And the moment they realized that there is a leadership that is coming in place, and to say a leadership which is straight and would want to put things in the right way, now they are trying to oppose that and bringing in antagonism which is not actually there. Yeah.
And because of that separation, will you still lead them? Wale ambao wanakukataa, like hufai kuingia kwenye bunge. Will you still lead them? Ama utasema ya kwamba mimi nitasupport tu wale ambao wananisupport. Wale ambao wanisupport, mimi sitawasupport pia kwenye leadership yangu.
Now I'm already leading them, and like I said before, I'm trying my best to bring everyone on board. Politics will always divide people, but a good leader will try to do his or her best after elections to bring everyone on board. So I can promise you that I'm already doing that, and I will do my best to ensure that everyone is on board. Yeah.
Wow, na unajua tulipata habari ya kwamba walikuwa wanarusha mawe, walikuwa wanatupa mawe. Ni nini mbaya?
Ni vita ya kawaida ya kisiasa ndio ilikuwa inaendelea. Manake the moment you feel like you want to fight for something and perhaps you don't have that energy to push it to the point you'd want it to get to, people tend to use the readily available materials in showing their interest, or rather fighting for what they want. So it's unfortunate that it happened, but we'll do our best to ensure that the next election that will come, it will be in the right way where no fights will be witnessed. Yeah.
Na tukiangalia your roles, nataka utuambie which roles as a president that you are supposed to do.
Okay. Now when it comes to the roles of the president of Bunge la Mwananchi, it's coming all the way from early 90s. If you do your research well, you'll realize that Bunge la Mwananchi started in 1992.
Hata mimi sikuwa najua, ndio umeniambia sasa.
It started actually in 1992, and the main reason was to fight for the poor. Generally, Bunge la Mwananchi is a movement that tries to ensure that the poor also have their stake in the society. They have what the government should do for them, because you realize that since independence, and I'm really at my lowest point to say this, that our forefathers, the founding fathers, brought a politics whereby if you did not participate in electing someone, you are excluded in the development agendas. And to be very categorical about that, you realize that where I come from, that is Luo Nyanza, in terms of development, before the devolved government, you realize that we were dragging behind in terms of development, because it was believed that we never participated in forming the government. So you realize that the common majority at the village would not get the government services. As much as Bunge la Mwananchi started in Nairobi, not from that region, you realize that when someone is already in office, they tend to do what they never, or rather what I would describe as their manifesto, they don't really bring it on board. So those who are in Nairobi then felt like they are not being served by the government, and they gave themselves this name of the poor, and now they are the victims. They came together to form a movement, which is actually it's not registered. It should be known that way. This movement was to fight for them, to ensure that they do an oversight to the government to do the right thing. So from there, it's, or rather the roles of the president stems from that point. Number one, you realize that the majority of these people in Bunge la Mwananchi, they are not employed. And the moment in Nairobi, so if you are not employed, life is a bit challenging. So my role as the president is to ensure that I knock at any office that is available, try to look for any chance for the members of Bunge la Mwananchi. At the same time, you realize that the poor, so many people take advantage of the poor. They group them, or rather organize them into groups in the name of trying to help them. But when that real help comes, it doesn't get to the intended people who are at the ground. So my role is to ensure that the moment we organize ourselves into small groups, no one is taking advantage of them. Also, the role of the president of Bunge la Mwananchi. All along, Bunge la Mwananchi has been seen like an opposition, because they are trying to do an oversight to the government. And in most cases, an oversight to the government, we normally talk when something is going wrong. So in most cases, we oppose the government. So it is believed that we are opposition.
Then you have a tough work to do. Then unajua walikuwa wanasema kwamba wewe ni mpole. So how will you manage those people?
Managing the people is all about leadership. And it's by chance that I was made someone who looks soft, but anyway, I'm not soft. Those who know me will tell you that I'm not soft. When it is fighting for the right cause, I will always do it and push it to the end. And sincerely speaking, if I was soft, then today you will not be interviewing me as the president of Bunge la Mwananchi. Yeah.
Then taking you back to Bunge la Mwananchi, do you think that you are safe?
Safety, no one is safe in Kenya as we are speaking. And even those who are not presidents, or rather those who are not in leadership, they are safe. And that is our responsibility, to fight for them to get that safety. So maybe I may say I'm not safe, but I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Now winding up, do you think that you are fit for that seat?
A good question. If I would not be fit, then I would have not gone for it. I evaluated, yes, I evaluated myself before going for it, and I realized that I was fit for that office, and I went for it. So what is remaining is to prove that I'm fit for that office. Yeah.
Lakini najua uko na furaha ndani yako, you know, that seat ain't that small, president, right?
Any success will make any man in his or her right senses happy. So without saying, I am happy to be the president. But at the same time, it is challenging. So I have to put myself to speed to ensure that I'm not just the president by the name, but actually doing what is right, or rather what should be done by the president. Yeah.
So I just want you to talk to your people